Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Agile Driven Impact.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, super excited to be back with you today. Can we just talk about it for a second? We had our first guest, and I love it because we've learned so much from each other talking about what is awesome about like best practices, right? Then we got to hear a little bit about real world, and today we're going to flip it. We're going to talk about some of the yucky. We're going to like head for the scrapyard.
Go to the scrapyard.
We're going there because what we want to talk about is not best practices, not real world stuff, but instead what is basically guaranteed to help your project fail.
Yeah.
How's that sound? We'll go back to like best practices, guests. Yeah, next time. But today, guaranteed project
worst
failure.
practices today.
The things not to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm your co-host, Diane, and
I'm Eric.
And here we are again to talk about all things agile. And really, why are we talking about this opposite? Why flip it like that? Why don't we just talk about positive things?
I mean, it can help people, I think, see, oh, yeah, we're doing that. They can identify with it. And if they can identify with it, then we can help you fix it.
All right. So these are almost like we're listening for flags. Like usually what we've been talking about are green flags.
Yeah. Things you should do. This is things that
today are red flags.
Well, yeah, the things you might recognize.
Or maybe they're yellow flags, like caution flags.
Maybe.
Maybe.
More like black flags. Get off the track type thing.
Oh boy, here we are in our racing analogies. Okay,
get off the track, bring your car to the scrapyard, and start over.
Well, maybe not start over, but have a thoughtful conversation.
Fix it
with your team. Try to figure out what you can do.
Get a big oil leak or something.
I'm going to leave you as the race car driver in this relationship to tell us all the true things. So what we're going to do is talk about some of these different things that happen. And the first one, I'm going to call it the talent drain.
Yeah, like a category of a few different, things that you could really mess up.
Like a few different flags could fit into this.
Yeah,
and
sure.
So like, but like the big flag, we're not going to worry about flag colors and what they really mean, but like the big flag, something I'm calling the talent drain. What does that mean to people?
I mean, I think we can start with one of the major things that goes wrong in organizations, I think, which is make decisions by committee or, constantly shift priorities with the loudest voice. So
wait, that's a bad thing?
Yeah.
Hold on. I mean, everybody wants to have another committee meeting.
No committees.
But we could schedule a committee meeting on Monday at noon every week for like 4 months. That's not it.
No, I think what happens is if you let decisions be made by a committee, this is an issue. You can let a committee give input, but ultimately you need someone who decides.
Someone where like the buck stops here.
Yeah, the buck stops here. This is what we're doing, and this is the decision, and this is the priority. And I can hear all these loud voices around me, but I need to cut through the noise and say, this is number one. This is what we should work on.
Okay.
So if you don't have that, right, if you have decisions being made by committee or priorities being shifted all around, then that is a red flag or a black flag or whatever you want to call it.
It is a flag of some sort that tells us
it says you might have an issue that you want to make better.
Okay.
So what would you see? What do you see as another one in this category?
Ooh. So if I think if I see a team that has, I don't want to say that they're not engaged in their work, but they are maybe feeling like they're independent in their skills. Like I do my thing and you do your thing, and they don't see how they connect.
Yep.
I feel like that might be a spot where we're not building together.
Sure. Yeah. So lack of cross functionality on a team, or
I like that phrase for it. Yeah, cross functionality.
They have
technical though,
right? But they could have that, but then they don't nobody works together, right? They're all just doing their own thing.
Well, I mean, I'm on my laptop doing things behind the Zoom wall or the Teams wall, if you prefer, and you're behind your laptop doing your things on your Teams wall. So, but I mean, we talk to each other once a day. Isn't that collaborating? I'm super sarcastic when we talk about these like
it seems like
opposite things. Yeah. I know.
We hit a nerve or something.
Maybe a little bit. Okay, so but that like lack of coordination of skills could be one.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else in this like talent drain space?
Yeah, to me, it's the idea that teams, groups perform best when they have someone there helping them with the process or observing how they're working. So really having no accountability coach that then problems and dysfunction, they just continue to happen without anybody checking it, right? So the project just continues along, kind of limping along with a lot of dysfunction in the group. Nobody's calling out the dysfunction, and then the project fails and everybody's, pointing fingers at each other. So that to me, not having someone there that's facilitating the group discovering things.
So, but I just want to like check in on what you said there. We're not saying necessarily that to avoid this issue, you have to have someone that has like the title of coach or coach and even their job description.
No,
that's not what you're saying.
No,
I don't
just
think.
someone who's taking after the team and making sure that if there is dysfunction, it's being elevated. People see it, understand it, talk about it.
Maybe they feel comfortable bringing it to the team for discussion. Yeah. Okay. Love it. I just wanted to make sure that I was understanding that, like, because I'm like, whoa, that's a lot in like a job description, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we found 3 different things that could be like talent drain type issues. What if then we shift into focus? Like, I'm a huge fan of the Pomodoro timer lately because it helps me focus for 25 minutes at a time. I need that some days.
Yeah.
But if we're thinking about focus in a team, what could we find for some of these flags?
Yeah. Right. So what kills focus on a team?
Could be a long list.
Could be. Why don't you start with one? What are you thinking?
In my case, well, I'm joking. I'm like, it could be the boss. I like to interrupt maybe sometimes. No, I'm joking. I would never, ever do that. No, what really could be to focus? If it's actually, no, it still could be about the boss. It could be about any one person though. It's just a list. And it's like, maybe in my head, I've got all these great ideas and I'm not sharing with anyone. Or the list, it might be visible, but it never changes. It's super static. There's nothing that influences it.
Or it's disorganized even, right? It's like a list of items.
Maybe it's a pile of sticky notes on the desk that never gets shared with the team.
It might be better than something hidden in somebody's head. But yeah, I think if the list of work isn't visible or able to change or organized, that's a real bad anti-pattern.
I can imagine how frustrated teams would get in that situation.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, I kind of fell on the sword because it could be the supervisor that has that happen, or it could be just like somebody awesome on the team who's been there the longest.
Right.
All right. What else?
I mean, going along that same line, if there isn't an order to what everybody needs to work on, right? So if there's no ordered list or priority, if everything's number one priority, that encourages multitasking, too much work in process, nobody finishing anything. So not having order to the work.
Like sequentially numbered?
Sequential order, yeah. Sequential order.
Like, so I understand what's number 1.
Yeah.
What's number 2.
Right. If you don't have that, what should people be focused on?
Some of the most well-intentioned executive directors I've talked to over the years say, but everything's of equal priority.
Yeah, well, then let's just put it in alphabetical order then. That'll get them to talk, so.
I'm going to use that next time.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Alphabetical order.
So then, I mean, well, seriously, you can't work on everything at once. So if you can't work on everything at once, then you say, look, I understand that these are all number one priority for you, but I have to work on one at a time. So let's start with the furthest up in alphabetical order. And they're like, well, no, don't do that. Okay, well, then what do we want to work on first?
I've got a sidebar. One of my favorite recent blog posts from Oliver Berkman, which was stringing one beat at a time.
Yeah.
So that's been an analogy our team uses, but I'm like the alphabetical order thing. I'm bringing that in.
Propose a radical prioritization technique if no one's going to prioritize.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. All right. Well, if we're talking about prioritization.
Yeah. What else?
Focus issues in this, could be that we don't know where we're headed in the short term.
Oh, yeah. Short-term goals.
Like we might understand our mission or our vision or our product goal, but those are all like super long-term things, right? So where are we headed in this month or this quarter or even this like 6 months? I know that still sounds long, but something that's shorter term. I mean, I like to talk, and I know you do too, like 1 to 4 weeks in terms of really short, something people can celebrate.
Yeah.
I like to celebrate. Does your team like to celebrate?
I think so.
I think so. Right. And if you don't have a short-term goal, how do you know
Yeah.
how
So
you're
no
doing?
short-term goal. That's a problem.
Yeah, that's a
right?
huge problem. Huge
Yeah.
problem.
And I have one more in this area that can totally kill focus, which is not really knowing what the customer really wants, right? So basically, whatever you're creating is just maybe it's technically cool, maybe the team loves working on it, but it has zero value, right? So you're working on something that's like, yeah, I can do this work, but what am I going to show at the end? What's going to be useful to someone? And if you don't have something that's clearly going to be useful to a customer at the end, then this is not, you're not focusing on the right thing.
Yeah. And you know me, you say customer, and I go, or client or
Mhm.
community member or
Mhm.
like ultimate stakeholder. And then I 100% agree the minute we expand the definition.
In my space, we call it happy engineering, right? Everybody's working on something that they love. Great, but is it useful? So maybe in your case, happy grant writing. I don't know. You're writing a grant. You're writing a grant. Nobody cares about it. Like,
oh yeah, that'd be sad. That'd be super sad. But no, you're right. Like that value that you're ultimately delivering. Oh
yeah.
boy, these are all things that I think you're right.
Yeah.
Focus down the tubes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we're doing a nice job communicating about some of these things that can go wrong in a team. But so what has to be next? I think it's about communication.
Okay.
Right?
Sure.
Communication is not always great in teams. It could be not always great.
So these are things that are going to make the team so that they don't communicate about the right things or communicate well with one another.
I mean, so we could communicate about what we watched on TV last night or what we're reading. That's not the type of communication we're talking about here, is it? I think
so.
That's the fun
What about also communicating out to the customer?
Could
be an issue.
All right, get us started then, because I'm derailed. I'm reading books over here.
So yeah, not having, I mean, if you don't have if going back to the short-term goals, so if you don't have short-term goals, like you had said in the last one, then what if you don't have a plan for those goals, right? If you don't have a plan, a short-term plan, nobody knows who's doing what they're actually doing, when they're going to do it,
why they're doing it,
why they're going to do it. So that short-term plan of like, how are we actually going to work together for the next whatever period of time. So if your team, if you can't say, guys, what's the short-term plan, and everybody doesn't say the same thing, that is a good way to create a low-performing organization.
Oh, for sure. All sorts of flags.
What do you have here?
So I don't know about the teams you've worked with over the years, but in my life, things don't always go to plan. And we've talked about that agile value before. I'm sure we'll talk about it many more times. And so when it happens, when we have to respond to change over following a plan, how quickly can we think about, well, okay, what are we going to do differently? How are we going to work together?
So what's the anti-pattern here?
Well, so the anti-pattern is probably, it's something like, so we're going to schedule a meeting to talk about the meeting that didn't go well, or we're going to talk about, I'd like a report.
Like a status meeting.
Long
status
what
meeting.
I really want is a 5-page status report on what happened. Maybe some things about what we learned, but then I'm going to send it up the chain, and I'm going to see.
Yeah, but nobody's going to read it. They want to have a meeting.
Well, no, because I'm going to send it up the chain for a future meeting. Yeah. So then we're just waiting.
Yeah. So long status meetings or long wait
really
times.
Long reports. Oh, super long reports. And definitely what else could be the anti-pattern related to that is if we're saying, that was something that we had that issue in the past. It was a past failure, something that we okay. I'm feeling a little disheartened by this particular one. I'd like to move on. I don't like status meetings or status reports. Let's move on to the next one.
Maybe you don't show anything to your customer or client for months and months and months until you're almost completely done. Or maybe you are even completely done, or you thought you're completely done. You show it to them, right? And then when you show it to them, they're like, that's not really what I wanted.
The look of shock on my face.
Or they're just not excited about it when they get it. And you're like, oh, that's not good.
Okay, so I just have to tell a little side story here, because as a writer professionally, earlier on in my career, I would write things and I'd want it to be perfect before I would ever share it to anyone, because I was nervous about feedback. And I learned the hard way that if you hold something till the very end, this was me.
Sure. It happens to everybody, right? You
think
and then
you feel seen.
Yeah, it happens. All right, let's do one more. One more in the communication space.
Okay. So if a team never discusses how they work together, if a team never talks about how they might get over like a hurdle in the future, if they never brainstorm about how to improve together, I mean, that to me, what is the worst? Tell me again, what's the worst flag in racing?
Oh, there's a lot of bad flags.
There's a lot. Which one do we want to say is the worst?
I mean, this one's definitely a black flag.
Black flag. Like, oh, that's when they point at you and you have to come off the track.
Well, they
right?
like point it at you. That's not as bad as they wave it at you.
If they wave it at you.
Yeah.
You're speaking from go-kart days, aren't you? All right. So, all right. They're waving the black flag at us.
It just means, fix it next time. Don't do that again.
Oh, waving it is like
waving is to get off the track.
Okay. So yes, then this one counts. If the team is never talking about how to improve the way they work together, how to learn from anything that's happened recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. I'm gonna wave the black flag. Okay. So wow. Okay, the communication one. Great. So
yeah,
we've like highlighted all these flags.
Sure.
And it's almost overwhelming that there could be all these flags that we're now watching for.
Yeah, we named off quite a few.
I think like 10 or 11 for sure.
Yeah.
So we always, though, love to give our listeners something actionable, something to do. And this is not meant to, and hopefully we made them laugh a little with a little extra sarcasm and some racing flag analogies. But that wasn't the challenge. That wasn't like what you're supposed to look for, right?
Right.
Okay, what do we want them to do this time?
I think if they take any of the things we just mentioned and say, what's one of these things, any one of these that you're currently suffering from in your organization? Even if it's not the exaggerated version we said, it's just like, hey, yeah, we just don't have a short-term plan. Then take that item and come up with a fix for it, right? So think about what can we do differently to flip this around and make it something better, make it a green flag, make it something that we can start doing right away. So just pick one of them and change it. One out of the 10 or 11 things we shared.
I love that. Okay, so good news. We don't have to worry about if there's lots of flags that we're feeling or seeing that we have to fix them all at one time.
Right.
One thing. Here, one thing, and you're right.
Just pick one in one of the areas,
and
right?
they were exaggerated versions.
Right.
Yeah. So like,
was it in the people
small.
space? Was it in the focus space? Was it in the communication space that we talked about? And pick one of those things and say, yep, we're going to fix this and fix it. Change the pattern. Get rid of it.
And then actually we want to hear about it. If that happens for you, we're super excited to celebrate with you and for you. So, all right, we've issued our challenge. We've talked about these anti-patterns.
Sure.
I got super sarcastic about some of it. I mean,
that's okay.
Yeah, it's my love language. It was great. So I am super excited to hear what people change as a result, what flags they try to fix. And so we're really looking forward to having you join us next time.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, continue driving the impact.
Yeah. And if you need help with any of these patterns, I think our sponsor might be able to help you with that.
Perhaps. So a huge shout out and thank you to our sponsor, Agile and Nonprofits, helping nonprofit organizations around the world to create greater impact in a more sustainable way.